Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. I'm currently on an MSC cruise. I'm on MSC's biggest cruise ship. This is my balcony cabin, and I'm going to do a cruise Q&A today. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. If you can start your question with question in capital letters, it makes it easier for me to pick them out. And there is a muster safety drill happening at the moment. Not for me. I'm not missing it to do the live stream. Don't worry. But we may have some captain's announcements, perhaps. So I am in Italy at the moment. We're in Civitavecchia. I know that's not how you say it, but that is how I say it. And we're on a Mediterranean cruise. If you're watching this in the future, I'm recording this in November. So it's kind of chilly, but it is better than the weather is in England. So yes, thank you so much to everyone who is already in the chat. I know this is a different day. This is a different time from our normal live streams. But as we're docked right now. We're sailing away in an hour. I hoped that the internet would be better. So fingers crossed we'll do this live stream. I have a question. It says, are you feeling seasick? No, not at all. The seas have been quite nice, I think, so far. It's been kind of a bit vibraty a little bit, but not really rocking and rolling. So it's quite good. Our first port was cancelled before we even left, our port of Marseille. But I think we avoided the worst of the bad weather. So it is okay. How is this different than the other MSC ships you've been on? Is it like Oasis class ships, and would you recommend it? So I have been on, this is my 6th MSC cruise. I've cruised on the MSC Meraviglia, Virtuosa, Opera, Preziosa. There's a fly in here. Don't know how it got in my room. And is this like Oasis class? Yes. This ship is exactly like MSC looked over at what Royal Caribbean were doing with Oasis, and they did their own version of it. This is like the Italian version of Symphony of the Seas, or one of those ships like that. I would definitely recommend it. I think this is my favorite MSC ship, I think, so far. Best MSC cruise. It's very different from Royal Caribbean. There's no question in that, but it's good. It is good fun. Justin's in here. He said he just got off Viva. Very nice. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. I'm very good. Matt says, where are the cookies? So on board, there's 2 places where the cookies are. One is sort of by the pool where they do burgers and stuff. They have cookies there. And they have a tea bar, a specialty tea bar, I guess. And they had 6 types of cookies in there yesterday. So quite a lot of cookies. It is not Friday, by the way, for anyone who's watching this. It's not Friday. And it is the MSC World Europa that I'm on, MSC World Europa. Some weird questions in here. Thank you so much to the moderators who look after these chats. I wouldn't be able to do them without you. I see some conversations about walkie-talkies. I would strongly recommend not bringing walkie-talkies on cruise ships. Cruise ships are big metal boxes. Every single wall is a metal. So I wouldn't recommend it. Some cruise lines won't let you bring them on. So not something that I would do. But I have my wristband on, which means that I can go on all the slides. I signed the waiver you have to sign. And I did the 11-story slide that is just out there today. Very slow, but it was so slow. It was great. I had my phone with me. I was just filming one way, filming the view, filming myself. It was just a nice view, but not particularly scary. Good though. Tony says, how is the burger and the pizza joint? It is good. I've always said, I think MSC, I think I've said in the past, MSC are my second favorite for pizza after Princess, but I think this is better than Princess Pizza. And you do have to pay for Princess Pizza now. So that's something going in MSC's favor. But there is pizza everywhere. Let's wait.
Dear guest, we kindly ask you to visit your assembly station. We remind you that it's compulsory. You have still 10 minutes. Please proceed to your assembly station. Thank you. Gentili ospiti, vi preghiamo di raggiungere il vostro punto di riunione. Vi ricordiamo che è obbligatorio visitare il proprio punto di riunione. Sono a disposizione ancora 10 minuti. Grazie per la vostra collaborazione.
So this is one thing that's very different about MSC cruises. It's not just in English. Most things are in English, Spanish, and Italian, I would say. Also French. I've heard some people speaking German. There's all kinds of languages on here. And people get on and off pretty much every day of the cruise. So today in Civitavecchia is one of the big embarkation ports. So they have a muster drill going on. If you don't have to do it, you don't have to do it. I did it on embarkation day, but you still hear that. So how many languages will he do? He seems to only be doing, at the moment, most things are just Italian, Spanish, and English. I think it depends who's getting on. You know, if we're getting a lot of French people on, they may do it in French as well. But yes, not all 6 languages. It depends. back to the pizza. On here, there's a pizza and burger joint, which is kind of in the main. You can get, there's 2 buffets on here, which is so good. The buffets are huge, way better than any other cruise ship I've been on recently, the buffets. And they have pizza in there, and they have pizza by the pool. So if you want pizza, and it's good pizza, it's that proper like doughy, thick crust. Oh, so good. Yum, yum, yum. Do you think there's a big difference between TUI river cruises and other river cruise providers? We did TUI and was much cheaper. It's just like a budget version. It's just a no thrills version. I think TUI is a good way to start river cruising. That, you know, I did one because you'll even know if you like river cruising or not. But normally river cruises include more than TUI. They're definitely on the budget end, but they're good. They are good. I do have another one booked. Yeah, Rich says, for those who don't know, Civitavecchia is Rome's port. It is, and it will say Rome on the itinerary, and we are very far from Rome. This is not Rome. But yeah, Civitavecchia is how I'm saying it, but I know that's not right. I know that's not right. So I have also been, what else have I done on this cruise? I've been roller skating yesterday. They have a roller skating rink on here. It does bumper cars as well, which is very cool. My mum's in the chat and she says, do you think me and your dad would like this ship, or is it too big? You know, I think you would, because, well, it depends. How much did you like Meraviglia? I took a cruise with mum and dad on Meraviglia, and this doesn't feel that much bigger. I think it is very different from Symphony of the Seas, because when I was on Symphony of the Seas, that's the Royal Caribbean version, it's all about the entertainment. It is about the diving shows, the ice skating shows, the theatre shows, the everything, and we never really looked outside. We could have been anywhere. But this ship, you definitely see the outside more. So I think you would like that. You know, in the buffet and stuff, there's glass windows everywhere. There's a big lounge at the back with amazing windows, but it's only open in the evening, which is kind of annoying. But there's a pub on here, like you'd like the pub for sure. So yeah. I think you would like it. Yeah, exactly. Like Southampton is to London. Yeah, exactly. Like Le Havre is to Paris. It's really not, but it is. Yeah, roller skating was fun. You just show up, they give you the skates, they give you the helmet. You do have to wear the helmet. I had a lot of comments that said, I'm not doing it if I have to wear a helmet. Well, then they won't let you do it. You do need to wear the helmet. Adam says, how did the situation with your upgrade go? So I think I'm the only person in the world who contacted MSC to undo my upgrade because I booked this specific cabin and wait a second.
Dear guests, we would like to remind you that it's compulsory. Visit your assembly station. You have still 5 minutes, so please reach as soon as possible your assembly station. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Gentili ospiti, vi ricordiamo che è obbligatorio visitare il proprio punto di riunione. Avete a disposizione ancora 5 minuti. Vi preghiamo cortesemente di raggiungere adesso il vostro punto di riunione. È obbligatorio. Grazie per la vostra comprensione e collaborazione.
I thought I would give you some of the paper so you could read while he was talking. But I booked this specific cabin because I wanted this cabin. This is pretty much the same cabin as I had on Royal Caribbean, one that looks inside the ship. So it's a balcony, but it looks inside. Very interesting. And I thought it would be very different because on Royal Caribbean, they have the diving shows there. They have parties there. And I'd heard that nothing really happens out here on this ship. So I wanted this cabin particularly, and I had to pay more to pick the specific cabin. I don't normally do that, but I wanted this cabin, right? And I don't think MSC have a tick box that says don't upgrade me in the same way other cruise lines do. And I got upgraded to a regular balcony, and I had to contact MSC to unupgrade me because I wanted this particular cabin. But I think what happened was it was quite last minute. So I think they moved people up so that they could sell the cheap inside cabins. So whoever got moved from an ocean view or an inside into this room, and then I got moved into the regular one, I think they just moved them up again. So someone got a double upgrade because I wanted to stay in this room because I wanted to review this room. So yes. Rich says, I'm actually loving the announcements. I think that's probably it now because the muster draw has happened. It is one you do in your cabin. You watch the muster thing on your TV and then you go to the muster station. So he's just saying, go, please go. You need to go to the muster station. But I don't need to because I already did it. I got on board in Barcelona. So I've been on here for days now. We've already done it. Is there a cruise line with good enough internet to work on board? Yes, there is. I can't tell you this cruise line has good enough internet to work on board and this one doesn't because it depends on so much more than that. It depends where you are. It depends on the weather. one thing that's a bit weird about MSC's internet, I bought a one package internet for me so I can work on the cruise. And normally what I do is I just log out on my phone and log on to my laptop, but you can't do that on MSC. Once it's on a device, it is on a device. So I had to, I have the one on my phone. I had to buy extra on my laptop today so I could do this live stream. And it was really, really slow. There's no way I could have done the live stream. So I had to go back on my phone. I had to use their Wi-Fi to buy myself more mobile internet. So we're doing this through my phone. So if I had a boss and this was the internet, I would have been fired for sure. But on some cruises, it's great. It just depends, you know, where you are, what the weather is like, which country you're in. There's just so much. Oh, how do you feel about Celestial Olympia being scrapped? Rest in peace. Yes, so this is a ship that was built in 1986, I would guess, the late 80s, originally for Royal Caribbean. And I cruised on her when she was with Celestial, and she was so sweet. You could tell how much everyone loved that ship, but also it was higgledy-piggledy, I would say. Definitely higgledy-piggledy. So I see why they're getting rid of her, as loved as she is. I feel like that's not necessarily what they want to show when they're talking about their cruise line. They want a nice new ship. I get it. But yes. Yes, tether your phone. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I am hotspotting off my phone. I paid for extra internet on my phone. So now I have loads of internet, but it's okay. I kind of need it, you know, when I'm working on ships. So it's okay. What is the best weather time for British Isles and Mediterranean cruises? I mean, July and August is the best weather if you want the warmest. But is weather just the main thing? Because to me, I would normally try and avoid August because it's school holidays, there's kids everywhere. So for me, if I had the entire year blanked out, I could go on a cruise anywhere to the Mediterranean anytime. I would probably pick June, September, those sort of shoulder seasons is what I would pick. Also depends it may be too warm for you in the Mediterranean in summer, so it is hard to know. Ooh, have you noticed much better internet on ships with Starlink? Says Rich. I suppose so. Interestingly, P&O on Arvia, apparently she has Starlink now, but the internet was fantastic, and I didn't expect it to be because P&O don't talk about it. So yeah, I do have a t-shirt on today that you may realize doesn't make sense because it says this is my embarkation day t-shirt, and it is not embarkation day, but I wasn't wearing one of these t-shirts before I scheduled this live stream, and I didn't want you to miss out on the discount, so I have the embarkation one on, and we'll do embarkation day as the discount. I hope that is okay. Hope that is all right. Have you ever been on an Italian cruise, and how did you find it? I am on an Italian cruise right now, really. I mean, MSC is an Italian cruise line. Their headquarters are in Switzerland, and everyone does always comment that, but it's a very Italian experience. I've been on Costa too. They're, I would say, more Italian. They're more focused on Italians. But yes, I've cruised. I was in Italy, you know, yesterday. So... is late March still too cold for a cruise to the Med? I mean, I've cruised the Mediterranean, you know, now, December, January. For me, there is no too cold because either I'm in England where it's colder or I'm in the Med where it's warmer. Even if it's cold, you know, it's better. The days are slightly longer than in England. Do you see any improvement with MSC services? I have never had a problem with MSC services. I think it is much better now. I think the food is a lot better now too than when I look back at my 2012 was my first MSC cruise. But I think it's just different. You know, like what other people value in service is not what I value. Like I love that I can go up and say, hi, can I have a Coke Zero? Give them my card. They scan it. They get a can, give it to me. That is it. I don't want any of this faffing around. Just give me the can and I will leave. Some people don't like that. So I think it's just a different way of doing things. And people say, oh, it's so rude. They didn't ask me about my day. I don't want you to. Like, I came here for the thing. Just give it to me and I'll leave. Like, that is totally fine. But we've never really had to wait anywhere. There's definitely more crew on here, I think. Maybe it's because they're biggest ship, you know. But yeah, no, we've had absolutely no problems. I haven't done an MSC in the US, so I don't know. I've only done, well, I did one in the Caribbean, but it didn't go near the US. So don't think that counts. I'd love to do an American River cruise. Yeah, very expensive, very expensive. My mum says, have you tried any of the specialty restaurants? If not, will you? I'm assuming you will have the free one. Yes, mum, you know me well. We've not had it yet, but I do have the highest loyalty status with MSC, as you can see from these cards. Diamond, not really deserved because MSC do a status match. So we matched our Norwegian status, which we did actually get with MSC, but it gives us a free meal. So yes.
Dear guests, may I have your attention, please? We'd like to inform you that the safety demonstration has been completed. We thank you for your kind participation. Thank you for your understanding, and we wish you a wonderful cruise. Gentili ospiti, la dimostrazione sulle istruzioni di emergenza è terminata. Grazie per la cortese partecipazione e la vostra comprensione. Vi auguriamo una buona serata e una fantastica crociera. Chers attention, s'il vous plaît. Nous vous informons que le site est maintenant terminé. Nous vous remercions de votre participation. Coopération, et nous souhaitons une bonne soirée à tout le monde. Sehr geehrte Gäste, die Sicherheitsübung ist nun beendet. Vielen Dank für Ihr Verständnis. Wir wünschen Ihnen einen wunderschönen Abend. Queridos huéspedes, buenas tardes. Les informamos que el simulacro ha concluido. Muchas gracias por su cooperación. Les deseamos una buena velada. A todos.
Okay, I think that's it. I think the safety drill is over. A question from Zaki says, do all insurances for cruises include money back for missed ports? No. I mean, I think all of them that I've ever seen in the UK do, but in the US, not by standard. There is a party that's just started outside there, so I'm hoping you won't be able to hear the music. Not because I don't want you to hear it, but because if you can hear it, that means YouTube can hear it and it can copyright strike my video. So fingers crossed you can't hear it. But this does answer one of the questions. It said, is this a party ship? Yeah, if you want to party on here, party away. Everyone is very, very casual, very, very chilled. There's not really dress codes. There's parties going on until, let me have a look. Last night, a party started at 11:30. So, yeah, party's happening on here. Can't hear it. Good. Can you not hear anything now? It's getting louder. I would love to be able to show you that way, but I can't. No music so far. I think the cushion is working. I hope so. Why did you not start the cruise in Rome? Why start in Barcelona? Because Barcelona is a nice 20 minutes in a taxi from the airport. And Rome to Civitavecchia, I've done it before. I've done it on the train. But it's so much easier to go from Barcelona. Nope, hear nothing. Oh, that's good. Because there is a party happening just out there. Maybe this microphone is working. Are there many children on board? There's children around. It doesn't feel like there's too many children on board. It's not school holidays, so I think it's fine. I think it's pretty good. It will be very different to be on here during school holidays with, there could be an extra 1,000 people on here probably. There's a sound but wouldn't guess the song. Interesting. Richard says, how is the pasta on MSC? Fabulous. If you like pasta, if you like mozzarella, if you like pizza, if you like bread and you like vegetables, this is fantastic. And I like all those things, so it's pretty good. Can't hear a thing other than you. That's good. I'll just party here. Could not find the insurance listed missed ports. What category is it under? It may be under just trip interruption for you. Mine is specifically missed ports, but depends on the policy. How is the breakfast / brunch? Any iced buns? They have iced buns. They have like little, it's like little bits of icing stuck to it, which is pretty good. And they have donuts for breakfast. It is good. I'm not a breakfast person, but I've had those. Terry says, how many passengers on board? I don't know. It is fully sold out. All the cabins are full. Maximum capacity, I think, is 6,700, but it's not that much for sure. Definitely not. Is there pizza in the main dining room? I don't think so. Maybe on the kids' menu, but it's in the buffet. It's in the main street. It is everywhere. Yeah. I can't imagine going to the main dining room and wanting to eat a piece of pizza. It doesn't seem very main dining roomy. Cookies are good. Yeah. If you want to know more about cookies, go back. And that's one of the first things that we talked about. If you do have a question, please start it with question. It just makes it so much easier for me to pick them out, especially when I'm trying to talk over this music. You can't hear it, but I can. Pepsi or Coke on board? It is a Coke ship. It is Coke, but they have Coke Zero, no Coke Plus like I had on my Japanese cruise. So I feel quite okay ordering it. It's good. Oh, Peter says we did not like the Europa. Poor waiters were so busy. I haven't got a vibe on here. On some MSC cruises in the past, I have felt like the crew were really sort of stretched. I haven't felt that on here at all, though. But maybe that is because it is not full capacity. Maybe if it was in the summer, it'll be different. But yeah, Terry says we were on board in the summer with 6,700. It was crazy but fun. That sounds amazing. I really want to be able to show you that party, but I think the internet will drop out if I try. Shall I try? Let's try. If it disappears, I promise I'll come back. I'm just going to show you through the window. So, down. I can't go out there, of course, because then I will get a copyright strike. Normally when we move too much, the internet drops out. So fingers crossed that's still okay. You can still see me. Do you travel for free, Emma? No, I do not. I've paid full price for this cruise. If you want to see an example of the disclosure I do when I've not paid full price, check out the content I made for Norwegian Prima. Go back on my channel. Every video has paid promotion. Every social post has ad on it. If you don't see that, then I've paid full price just as a regular person. I think this was £1,100. I'll have to check. I will check before I make my video. But that's just for me. Just for me. Don't like starting a cruise on different days. What is your opinion? It's different because there's not a welcome on board show. There's no goodbye because it's just a never-ending cruise. But it's so good if you can't get a certain week off work. Say you have something on a Monday. Doesn't matter. You can just start the cruise on a Tuesday. Doesn't matter. Do you feel unwelcome in the bars or lounges if you don't order anything? Always felt so awkward. No, I don't think so. I've never really felt that on a cruise. I can't think of any examples where I felt like that. So no, all good. Jessica says, do you prefer celebrity or royal? Depends who I'm going with. You know, if I was going with teenagers, I'd take them on royal. If I was going with my mum again, probably, yeah, definitely I would take my mum on celebrity. So I like both. They're very different. Did that price include flights? No, but it does include the premium drinks package, which is, if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that's not something I normally pay for, but it was, when booking, the alcoholic package is the same price as the non-alcoholic when you get on board. So I was going to buy non-alcoholic, so I might as well get that. Not have my money's worth out of it. I've had a few alcoholic drinks, but yeah, I will explain in my full video. I'll say how much I paid, what cabin this is, you know, what was extra. How has the main dining room been? Is it a shorter or longer service? I have been in and out within an hour and a half every day, which I think is pretty good. Pretty good. Can you still not hear the music? Because it's quite loud. Is MSC World Europa a copy or inspired by Royal Caribbean's Icon class? It's definitely the Oasis class. Yes, the Oasis class. There's no central park on here though, but this area at the back that is open and the cabins look in, it is very similar. Yeah. They don't normally use this space so much though, so it's funny that they chose this time to do a party. Can hear a small rumble, but no music. I'm impressed. I am impressed. Good. Yeah, not so much like Icon, but Oasis and Symphony and that kind of class. Yes. Max says, how are you? Loved your recent video. Thank you very much. So my recent video was all about my P&O cruise that I took on board P&O's Arvia, and I took it with a massive family group. I was cruising with children, which isn't something I normally do. I'm glad you can't hear the music. It's kind of hard. Nick says, would you take this inward-facing balcony cabin over an inside cabin? Well, I booked it, yes. This is the same one that I had on Symphony of the Seas. For me, it's either an inside cabin or it is one that is in some way controversial, some way interesting. For me, I've been to all these ports before. I don't particularly need a balcony. It's also dark most of the time when we sail away, but this is good. This is 7 nights, this cruise, 7 nights, yes. Just to let you know, it's pouring down on the M25. That sounds miserable. That is the thing. It's been cold here. It's been kind of grey skies today, but at least it's not raining. It is not raining, so it's better than being at home. From Chile, Texas. Oh, I find for me Texas is always warm. uh, Can your neighbors on the other side see into your cabin? Yeah, the people who are opposite can see, but what is really good about this cabin is this is the front curtain, this is a blackout curtain, and then there's like a privacy curtain. They didn't have that on Royal Caribbean. On Royal Caribbean, there was no privacy curtain, so it was either open or closed. But this is good. This is nice. It is miserable everywhere in the UK. Yeah, minus 23. Oh my goodness. What port are you looking forward to visiting most? We are going to Malta if all goes to plan. And that's definitely the one I'm looking forward to most. It does get cancelled quite a lot when the seas are rough. So fingers crossed we do make it there. I hope so. Oh, Steve says, got your video going through my TV. Can hear the odd bass note now and again, but not much. Good, 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 good. Can you get pineapple on your pizza? I've not seen it as an option. I don't dare ask for it. Leo says, what is the biggest difference between MSC and Royal Caribbean? Royal Caribbean is an American cruise line. MSC is an Italian cruise line. It is geared for Italians, Spanish people, French people, Germans, English people. Royal Caribbean is just for English speakers. Yeah, so many differences. If you want to know more, go to emmacruises.com, type in your question, and I have written a full post on this. So check it out. Check it out. Bob says, have you been on a cruise to Bermuda? I have. I have recently been on a cruise to Bermuda on Norwegian Prima. I also went on Norwegian Breakaway quite a long time ago. And we had 3 days in Bermuda, which was very cool. Very cool. I would put pineapple on the pizza if they had it here. I'll keep an eye out, but I've not seen it yet. But the pizza is so good. It is really, really good. If you can keep your question as short as possible, it just increases the chance that I'm going to be able to read it and put it on the screen. I don't have the time to read the full question really before I put it up, but I can't just put anything on the screen because people try and catch me out with weird things, or it might be a question I don't want to answer. So yeah, keep the questions as short as possible and it just increases the chance that I'll answer them. If you do have a more lengthy question, totally understand. If you join me on Patreon, I do a podcast every week where I answer every single question. Or if it's something about a cruise you're planning on taking, I work with travel agents in the UK and the US. If you go to my website, click the book a cruise button, we can help you with any plans. So yeah. How big is the ship? This is the, I think, 6th biggest ship in the world. Very big, very big. Do they have a turn down service? Yes, they still do the rooms twice a day on MSC, which you probably wouldn't expect because MSC are definitely a budget cruise line. I would say this one, it's the most expensive MSC cruise I've ever paid for because it is such an exciting ship. So, but yeah, twice a day still. What question wouldn't you want to answer? The fact that I'm very jealous that you cannot ask that because that means you don't know what kind of questions I get. Where is the ship currently? Civitavecchia. We're just about to sail away from Civitavecchia. What do you think of the cabin decor? As nice as Avia, it looks tasteful. It is very MSC. This is the only thing you can see. But it's nice enough. There's nothing to dislike about it. This is almost exactly the same as Meraviglia. My cabin is different though, because my cabin is kind of sideways because we have a long balcony that goes into the central street. And instead of the cabin being long and thin, it is a square. So the bathroom's kind of in the corner. It's different. The only annoying thing about it is that there are so many little lights at night. So I've been sticking things over everything because they're just annoying. But apart from that, yeah, nice cabin. Very far away from anything though. This is a big ship. Any Christmas cruises planned? I'm not cruising at Christmas this year. I don't know what I'm doing for Christmas this year, but I will figure it out. Shakespeare enjoyed pineapple on his pizza. Interesting. Is the bed comfortable? Yeah, it's a pretty comfortable bed. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, no complaints about it. No weird shower window. No, it's a nice normal bathroom. Yeah, it's fine. It's just a square shape. It's not particularly big, not particularly exciting. I think it's probably on the smaller side, actually, but I haven't measured it. But it's nice. Do you get any light in from the balcony or promenade? Yeah, I mean, we are towards the ocean view. So we have an ocean view and a promenade view, which is really, really good. I can see where I am. So when I was on Royal Caribbean, at the back, there was the Aqua show and they would practice the same songs every day, which did get a bit annoying. But on here, they don't do that. So when we wake up, we can see where we are. This definitely feels more connected to the ocean than Symphony of the Seas. But then Symphony of the Seas had the most amazing entertainment on it. And you're not going to find ice skating shows or diving shows or the same sort of, you're not going to find Hairspray the musical, for example, on an MSC cruise, because, I mean, it would be very difficult when people speak Spanish, Italian, English, everything. See, MSC's just popped up on my watch and it says departure from port. So it does work well. The app does tell me. How many does your stateroom sleep? It sleeps 2, just 2. There's no beds in the ceiling. There's no sofa in here either. So it is just 2, just 2. How fast is the Wi-Fi? I was struggling to get 2 megabits before this live stream, which is why I'm doing this on my phone. It's been fine for uploading pictures, everything I want to do, but live streams has not been good enough for that. Have you gone through the secret phone booth yet? I haven't, and I don't know that I will, because I have the premium drinks package, and when I go through the secret phone booth, I go to the one bar on the ship where cocktails cost 20 euros, I've heard, and I have a premium drinks package, but it doesn't work in there. So why would I go through there? I don't know. We will see. I've seen other people go in there. It looks nice enough. But yeah, not sure. Shelley says, what ages do you see? I see babies who are 6 months old. I see people who are 90, probably plus. I see everybody on here. Everyone. Yeah, I don't know about the secret bar thing. It looks like a bar, and I'm not really that fussed about going to a bar where I have to pay for drinks when I've already paid for unlimited drinks. It just seems silly to me. And it's not as if I'm ever bored on here. I don't need anything to fill my time, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. Does MSC use the watch medallion? They do have a watch. You have to buy it. I'm not interested in buying it. The card works fine. I'm used to having a card. But yeah, they do have one. They do have one. Which cabin do you have? Balcony, and which category? I have normally every other time I've ever cruised with MSC, I've gone for Bella, the cheapest one, don't care, but I wanted this specific cabin to make a YouTube video about it, so I had to pay extra for this cabin. It's I don't know what they call it, but it's like an inside balcony. It faces inside the ship. How hard is it to find your way around? It's definitely not the most confusing ship. It's okay, actually. I think I'm doing all right. Ish. I still don't know which way is the front and which way is the back when I'm in the middle. Are there Wi-Fi data limits, like per day or per cruise? Curious if I can work when on a ship. I don't think there's any limits, but the problem is you're not going to be able to use much because it's not great on here anyway. It depends where you are. It depends on the weather. It depends on the countries. It depends how fast you're sailing, which direction you're going in. It depends on everything. I've been on some cruises. I had 70 megabits the other day on a cruise, which is the highest I've ever had. But on this one, I'm not even getting 2 megabits. So it's fine for emails. Rich said, did you get offered an upgraded cabin because someone at the main office recognized you? I don't think so, because every person I've met on this ship has been upgraded. Every person I've met so far. I think what happens is they want to sell the cheaper cabins, so they pretty much bump everybody up. It's quite common on MSC, to be fair. Whenever I've cruised with friends on MSC, they've not been linked to me at all, and they've always been upgraded, I think, always. I haven't always been upgraded. I've done plenty of inside MSC cabins. I did an MSC cruise that was 23% full, and I had an inside cabin and I wasn't upgraded. So I think if any time I was going to be upgraded, that probably would have been the one. Follow the fish. There's no fish on here. So on some cruises, not on MSC, on Norwegian cruises, they have fish on the carpet that goes forward. They don't have that on here. Ian says the lift system is brilliant on this ship. Yeah, they have smart lifts. I don't really use the lifts if I can avoid it, but it takes you where you need to go without stopping at each place, which is good. Is the sailing full? Yeah, every cabin is full. That doesn't mean that the ship is completely full, because it may be, there's only 2 people in a cabin that can hold 3 or 4, but all the cabins are sold out. Yeah. Is it hard to understand the announcements on this cruise? No, no, everyone is fantastic at English. It blows my mind. The cruise director will stand up before the theatre shows and he will say in English, welcome. If you're English, you just got on today. Here's the show, whatever. And then they will say the same thing in Spanish. Everyone who speaks Spanish will whoop, and then they'll do it in Italian. And then I think he was speaking, I don't know, he asked yesterday, is anyone from Vietnam? And then he started talking. So I don't know how many different languages he speaks, but it's very, very impressive. Very impressive. And also, can you imagine working on a ship like this? You're given a task, you walk up to someone, and you have no idea what language they're going to start talking to you in. I can't even imagine. It must be so hard. Can you show us the view from the balcony? Not really, because I can't get out there without the music coming in. I'll get a copyright strike on my channel. If I get 3 of those, they can shut down. And it is not worth it. Not worth it. But I will be making a full video about this cabin. So make sure, just check that you're subscribed. I think the button's down there for you. Just check, please. Yeah. Would you want to do a tall ship cruise? Yeah, sure. I would do any cruise once. Any cruise at least once. I don't know what this question means, Matthew. How many people do you think are involved in booking a singular cruise? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Yeah, Richard says, got upgraded to a balcony last week on MSC, but a fellow guest did a bid for an upgrade and was refused. Yeah, it does seem a bit random. I will say that. Yeah, such talented crew. Can you imagine? I mean, just say you're in housekeeping and someone comes up to you. You don't know if they're speaking Italian, Spanish, English, German, French, anything, Portuguese. There's all kinds of languages on here. Yeah, I don't want to risk the internet dropping out. It's not great. I'm using my phone. So I did peek out the window a minute ago. If you want to rewind, you will see. How do you know what the announcement is saying? They do it in English first every time, which is very handy. So yeah, it's always in English. You might just have to wait. If you're on a cruise, more so on Costa, because there's less English speakers on there, they'll do Italian first, Spanish, blah, blah, blah. But they'll always do English. English seems to be, if you have 2 different groups of people who don't speak the same language, English tends to be the one they try to speak together. So yeah. Very lucky for us, English speakers. Would you try a Viking cruise? We're actually docked next to Viking Venus at the moment. And I have cruised with Viking on the ocean for 4 days in 2018, I think. It was part of a press trip. It was amazing. It was awesome. But it's interesting. If you took everybody off this MSC ship, well, not everybody, because they're not going to fit on that one. But if you took 1,000 people off here, put them on Viking, some of them would be so bored. They would hate it. But if you took the 1,000 people from Viking and you put them on here, they would not like that either. So that's what's great about cruising, I think. I like both. But I'm not the average cruiser, I don't think. I like all cruisers. How much is color coded? I'm colorblind, so can't use color coding. I can't think of any examples of anything that's color coded. Nothing. I don't think. I'll keep an eye out though, because I've never thought about this before, so now I'll try and think about it. How organized is the buffet as far as guest etiquette? It is very good. I think maybe apart from Celebrity, I think Celebrity is the best buffet that I've had this year. Apart from that, this buffet is the best. There's 2 buffets, one's on top of the other, and that means that when one's closed, the other one's normally open. So there's pretty much consistent food around the clock. And even when it is closed, there's always a section that's open. Always. I've never found no food. So yeah, guest etiquette, I've had no problems. It doesn't feel that busy. We've never struggled to get a seat anywhere. So yeah. Got to try Viking. I'm boring. In no way saying that people who cruise with Viking are boring. It is fantastic. But if you've got someone on here who likes the slides, who likes the bumper cars, they obviously don't have that on Viking. They don't have. It's very different. Very different. Thank you, Nick. Nick has gifted 1 Emma Cruises membership. I don't know how this works. I guess it randomly goes to someone, or do you give it to someone? But anyway, Nick has been a member for a while, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoy. You'll have 150 podcasts to listen to now. You can join us in our Discord chat. You can see behind the scenes outtakes, all kinds of stuff. Do you have a soda stream at home? I do, yeah, but I just buy cans of Pepsi. It's not. They don't do Pepsi Max. Well, they do, but it's not the same in a soda stream. So I just buy cans. But I do have a soda stream, and I'll put squash in there sometimes. I bought some squash on this cruise, of course. So I have some little squash. Colorblind hive, rise up. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I hear a lot of bad things, about MSC's food, MSC's buffet. I think MSC get a really bad rap sometimes. I mean, it's not always been fantastic on the 6 cruises I've taken with MSC, but this is one of my favorite buffets for sure. Maybe it's because I love cheese, I love bread, I love everything that's there for sure. I mean, this fly is back, but the buffet is so much better than on my last cruise with P&O, which was fine. It was fine, but this is good. This is really good. There is a fly in here. Go away. Oh, got it myself, says Nick. Interesting. I see. Oh, yeah. Do they try and upsell specialty dining drinks packages, or the staff leave you alone? They very much upsell, yes. This is the thing with budget cruise lines. If you pay less for a cruise, they're constantly going to want you to pay more. And I think on average 4 times a day, I'm being asked, do I want drink? Do I want specialty dining? No one's ever asked me about the drinks package, but I have the drinks package. But on average 4 times a day, every day, someone asks me, do I want the specialty dining? It is the most annoying thing about cruising with MSC. And it's annoying because everyone is so nice. And I'm so happy to chat to them always. They always ask where you're from. The crew are really nice, but you can tell they've been sent out with a clipboard, go and get people to book, which is awful. I feel so bad for them. They're so nice. Oh, Nick meant to give it to someone else. Oh, it says 5 gifts here. So maybe random 5 people will get it. I don't know, Nick. Nick, you are testing the boundaries of YouTube. I don't know how it works. Adam says, other than MSC, which cruise lines do you recommend that has a no-nonsense service without the chit-chat? I think without the chit-chat, probably the British or the Italian cruise lines, or any cruise line that's not American. Americans tend to have the extra chit-chat that I don't really need. I don't mind, of course, but I'm not going to complain when they just give me what I asked for. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh, trying an Amsterdam Christmas markets cruise. Hope you get to sail. Yes, I hope you do too. Is that Hudson IST camera bombing there? I thought you said back there on the bed. Yeah, there is Hudson version 3, little guy looking after the room. I have heard the first batch. So what I did to make the shipping faster with this version of Hudson is I pre-ordered 1,000, and the first 1,000 is supposed to be ready today. So if you were one of the first people to order, you may get him very soon. The rest, the second batch, I think December 15th, it's supposed to finish. So they hopefully will arrive for Christmas. That was why I split it into 2 batches. Second try from Nick. Thank you very much, Nick. I have a new member in here somewhere. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you on the inside. I think that's probably an easier way to do it. Would you prefer MSC to P&O? Very different experiences. I like both. Depends who I'm cruising with. I have friends who would be not happy on MSC and friends who would not be happy on P&O, to be quite honest. What would be your favorite start for a novice cruising couple, no kids, middle-aged, cruising in Europe? I would say go to emmacruises.com. Please give me your email address. You'll get a free guide comparing all the cruise lines, how busy they are, how much they cost, everything like that. And then I have a free email series that emails you once every 3 days with everything that I could possibly answer to this. Weird comments in here. Thank you so much. I think maybe all of the normal moderators are, working or something because it's a work day today. Oh, Andrew says it was me. Congrats. Nice. How are the vegetarian options? Good on MSC. Yeah, I think the Italian cruise lines, a lot of Italian food is just vegetarian, pasta, cheese, a lot of cheese. So yeah, pretty good. There's always every single main menu in the main dining room, starter, main, vegetarian options. I think the other day, 4 out of 5 of the starters were vegetarian. They just were. So yeah, plenty of choice. It's showing who was gifted. Interesting. I can't see. I see one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Shenanigans. Interesting. Oh, your computer will restart in 57 seconds. No. How about no? Oh my goodness. It's actually going to restart and there's no option other than restart. Okay, well, we're ending this live stream a bit early. To be fair, I'm amazed that this worked this well. Yeah, it's literally restarting. There's nothing I can do. I can't cancel. Great. Okay, well, we're going to end this live stream 15 minutes early. I hope that's okay. I'm very happy with how this live stream went. So thank you so much, everybody. This discount, buy a Mac, I am on a Mac. The discount is Embarkation Day, and I will be back soon. No, my entire laptop is restarting. It has an update, and there's nothing I can do about it. But thank you so much, everybody. This has been fun. I'm glad that the Wi-Fi held out. So yes, we're going down with the stream. Yes, we are. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.